Good morning. Welcome to Discover Tai Chi.
Hello, folks. Welcome to our live morning session, or if you're joining us later, welcome as well. So do say hello. We always try and check the messages, and do leave us your thoughts, questions, comments. It's always nice to hear from you. So if you haven't joined us before, just let you know who we are and what we do.
So I'm Phil, and
I'm Helen, and we run Discover Tai Chi. So we help people try Tai Chi and learn some of the fascinating forms and movements and all the good bits. And we leave out some of the rubbish bits, don't we?
we do, yeah. We're very evidence-based, both in terms of the health benefits and also the history as well. So we tend to avoid all the colourful stories that surround Tai Chi and all the slightly wooey aspects, and we just keep our feet firmly on the ground because we really want to just impart the good stuff, as Helen says. And we've got Jana who's joined us, and it's lovely to have you with us, Jana, and it's really nice of you to say so, that you loved our most recent newsletter. Thank you, Jana. We did send out a newsletter recently. If you'd like to be on it and you're not, just drop us an email at info@discovertaichi.uk. There you go. And we'll put you on our mailing list. But yeah, so glad you liked it, Jana.
And good morning to Chris as well. Thank you for joining us. And it's dull and misty where Chris is. Yes, West Yorkshire. Well, definitely this bit of West Yorkshire is looking pretty dull and grey after a lovely weekend. We hope some of you got some of that sunshine on Sunday. It was a glorious sunny day,
It was beautiful. Yeah, it really felt like spring has come. And here is Alan. Alan says you've not seen it yet. Check your spam and junk box, Alan. Sometimes they end up in the spam and junk box. I don't know why, but yeah, sometimes it ends up there. Or if not, just go back through your email feed. We did send it out, so you should have a copy somewhere.
Yeah, hopefully it'll arrive soon. Yeah. We can always resend it.
Yeah, we can.
It's on our Facebook group. It's on our
Facebook page. Yes, you'll find it on all our social media channels as well. So just look out for it, Alan, and you'll be up to date with everything. Although we're going to give you a bit of a news update here as well. Lovely to have you with us, because I know you're currently doing some courses, aren't you, Alan, in Tai Chi and qigong, as I remember. Let us know how you're getting on. It'd be fab to have a little update. Who else have we got? Hel?
So Maggie's joined us. Good morning, Maggie. Nice to have you with us. I hope you've got a drink. I hope it's not too grey and grim where you are. You're down in South
Leamington Spa. There we go.
There we go. So yeah, and we're just I hope you've got a cup of tea and you're settled in, ready for some Tai Chi. So our news this week.
News this week is, if you've been following the national news, you'll know that the government released its roadmap out of lockdown. Obviously, there's some caveats to that so long as case numbers keep reducing, then that roadmap will go to plan. That means the good news for us, certainly with outdoor classes, is we can return to our outdoor classes from the 29th of March. So 29th of March falls on a Monday, and that just so happens to be the day when we would be doing outdoor Tai Chi at Cliff Castle Park. So look out for that. We've already had people, as a consequence of the newsletter, get in touch and say, can I join you? Yes, you can. But you need to use our booking service because we still have to abide by COVID guidelines, which means that we must have a register of people and contact details. So that's going to be the case for the foreseeable future. So the days when you could just turn up with your pocket money and throw your pennies at us and we'd let you in, those days have gone. We've got to get you to sign up and book your attendance in advance. And in some respects, that's just good and professional practice in any case. So 29th of March, that's the date for your diaries. We're investigating, aren't we, Helen, at looking at some alternative outdoor venues too. So one of those outdoor venues would be Silsden Park. Helen and I had a wander around the park and kind of did an informal risk assessment as we did so this weekend gone. And we're now in touch with our good man Dan at Bradford Parks, and we've got the application form. So we're going to hopefully apply to do an outdoor class at Silsden. Don't ask us what day or time yet, because we've got nothing confirmed. But as soon as we do have anything confirmed, once again, we'll let you know. So that will be 2. And we've also got some cunning plans for some other venues, but we'll keep those under our hats at the moment because they're big unknowns right now. We're just in the process of getting our feelers out for some outdoor venues. It seems to be a trend that's being predicted that people are still going to be a little bit wary of indoor venues, quite rightly, I would say. And therefore, there's going to be a trend for outdoor health and fitness, group activities in outdoor locations. So me and Helen are kind of following that idea. And plus, we've realized now from over a year of doing Cliff Castle that actually there's very few days where we can't get outdoors due to bad weather. Even a little rain shower hasn't put us off. It's only been when it's been absolutely freezing cold, or if it's been blowing a gale and the rain has been coming in sideways, that we would have to cancel a class. But actually those days are few and far between. So outdoors could be the way to go for the next 12 months at least.
I'm hoping you haven't just given that the commentator's curse. So touch wood, everybody, that we will have an okay summer and we will be able to do some of those classes. So
we'll have a series of cyclones and hurricanes coming through the Atlantic all summer, and you'll be going, Phil. All on a Monday as well.
Exactly. So let's say hello to folks. Let's change subject quickly.
Okay. Hello, Dorothy. Good to have you with us.
And hello to Pat. Thank you for joining us. Good to have you with us. We hope you've got a cup of tea or coffee or something nice while we just have a few minutes giving you our news and catch up. If you've got any news, we hope you're all getting along well with the vaccine. We know a lot of our folks have told us they have been able to get the vaccine, so it's getting out there. So hopefully people are feeling reassured that things are progressing.
I know, it's amazing. Think about it. Less than 12 months ago, we've gone from 0 to hero, and the vaccines are actually doing their job as far as they can see. In fact, probably better than quite a few people predicted. So far, so good. So yeah, let us know if you've had your shot yet. Me and Helen are a bit young at the moment to be having our shots, but I might get mine in May-ish, mightn't I? If the timeline goes, I fall into that demographic. So we'll see. But yeah, let us know if you have had a shot and have you managed it okay. It should have given you a little bit of a reaction, but then that's the idea with vaccines, and then you should be pretty much right as rain. We've not had anyone say they've had bad reactions, have we? So on the class front, again, some of you have been asking about indoor classes. According to the roadmap, we won't be able to open any indoor venues until the middle of May. And that's according to the road plan. And it looks like there's going to be no latitude on that. Watch out for that one. Again, me and Helen are beginning to think about indoor venues just simply because time flies. So we don't want to take the eye off the ball, but we've still got basically a good ways to go before we get to any indoor venues. So just keep on top of the newsletter, watch our live streams, and we'll keep you up to date. So that's it for classes.
Yeah.
Anything else that we need to be aware of, Hal?
So as people may be getting out and about more, or thinking about getting out and about more, I think it's really important we do think about our strength and our balance in order to get out and feel confident and get out and feel not too anxious. So, because I think it will be quite strange for some of us to get out and about more, to be around more people. It could be a little bit strange. So we're going to have a little bit of a focus on strength and balance, aren't we? So that we know Tai Chi is good for our strength and our balance in so many ways, and we can add to that. We can add in some extra exercises just to help bump it up a bit. And so we're going to be doing that over the next few weeks. Quite a few of you had your jabs, no problems. Fantastic.
Jana had hers. Alan had his. Alan says he had some side effects. Dorothy says no side effects. And Maggie is on a vaccine trial.
Brilliant.
Crikey, you've had 2 shots, Maggie.
Ooh.
How come you get the special treatment?
You've got to sign up, haven't you? You've got to get yourself on a trial. So
yeah,
brilliant.
Good on you. Well done. Let us know how all that goes, because it's interesting stuff. It's live citizen science after all, and it's amazing stuff in terms of modern medicine, the ability to manage these serious infections. Sorry, we're digressing again. We're back to strength and balance, aren't we? It's really, really important. Again, me and Helen, we follow the medical and health updates, and there's a big recognition that as people do begin to come out of this prolonged period where many of us, and we again have people tell us that they haven't actually been out the house now for almost 10 months, will be deconditioned. So our classes are going to reflect that. Okay, we're not going to have you leaping about like wushu athletes like you would do normally. We're going to grade you back up, because that's what we do. We're going to be mindful that we will all be deconditioned. Don't take that as a negative. It's just the body adapting to maybe less physical activity. Even me and Helen have been doing less physical activity, even with our weight training and various other things that we do, and just our own personal practice of Tai Chi and things like that. Simply by being restricted to the indoors reduces our level of physical activity quite dramatically. So yeah, we're going to have an emphasis on building that strength and improving that balance, because it gives you a good base to practice and enjoy Tai Chi. What else have we got? Jill says, had yours Sunday. Oh, who else had theirs on Sunday?
One of our neighbours.
Our neighbours, yes, had it Sunday. Oh, you felt shivery, cold hands and feet. 9 hours later, paracetamol helped. No energy yesterday. Okay now. Good.
Oh, good to hear you're over it. I think paracetamol's a good call for a lot of people, isn't it? A lot of people are saying have paracetamol to hand, because you're going to feel like you've got a good old cold.
Yeah.
Right. So and Judy's joined us this morning. Thank you, Judy. And wow, it's your anniversary of 34 years coming to the UK from Canada.
Oh wow.
Oh, so happy anniversary. Thank you for some good news.
Yeah.
That's nice to know.
And this is really nice from Maggie. Yay. That's really nice. So yeah, really nice to have you with us, Judy, all that time. That's fabulous news. So yes, strength and balance. Last week in the live stream, don't forget you can watch it again on our YouTube channel. We had a little focus on our feet, if you remember, once I began to get into the Bafa Wubu set, just to help us with those steps. So when you get back into class, expect us to be playing with these qualities of strength and balance quite a bit, because it creates the foundation upon which everything builds. If we just get you straight back to doing forms immediately, we won't have the strength and balance to be able to do them very well. It's a bit like a ballet dancer. They always go to the bar and do some pliés and all the foundational work that then enables them to do those amazing feats. So strength and balance is the theme, and Helen's going to get you going right now, aren't you, Hel?
So yeah, absolutely. You can do some of these movements seated.
Yep.
If you've not joined us before, you might just want to have a watch, see what we get up to.
Yeah.
Always stay within your safe and comfortable range of motion. So, and make yourself a little bit of space.
Make sure you've got space around you for your arms, and if you're standing up, for your legs. And yeah, just go easy as well, because we can't see you. So we're hoping you'll be a good common sense and look after yourselves. Right, I'm getting out of the way and let Helen get started.
Okie dokie. So I'm just going to move I've got my box. I'm going to move out of the way. So if you want to stand up, just make sure the floor's clear. Just maybe have a little bit of a walk. If you're seated, get the arms going, take in some nice breaths. So you might want to just pay attention to the breath. Not something we do unless we are short of breath, but it's nice and relaxing to sometimes just bring our attention and awareness to our breath. It can be calming. We can use it to help us calm down. And when Yoga for AS joined us a few weeks ago, now, crikey, they did some nice breathing exercises with us, didn't they? So just being aware of the breath, relaxing, paying attention to it. And if you're standing, just pay attention to the feet. If you're seated, pay attention to how you're sat. So do you have some pressure still through the feet? Can you press down into the feet? Whether you're sitting and standing, can you be a bit more active in how you stand? Press down, give the toes a wiggle, shifting the weight towards the front of the foot, shift the weight towards the back of the foot. We start to feel our balance. We're very clever humans. We're all super clever. We can balance on two very tiny points called our feet. And you might want to try shifting the weight from side to side. So feel the weight on the outside of the foot. Feel the weight on the big toe edge, on the little toe edge. Really get in tune with these feet that do so many clever things to keep us upright. Get in tune with our feet. Feel what's going on down there. Have a little shake out. That can help us sometimes let go of tension. So tension isn't very helpful when we're trying to move in a nice, smooth way, which is often what we're trying to do in Tai Chi. And it's not very efficient either. It doesn't help us move efficiently, and we expend more energy than we need to. And we end up can feel tense, and we can end up feeling achy. So if you would like to have a little shake of the joints, see if that helps loosen any tension, see if it'll let go. And the first movement we're going to do is a little bit of getting our hand-eye coordination going. So hand-eye coordination is so important if we're thinking about getting out and moving. So we're thinking about the eyes and the neck doing the work. So keep the shoulders forward, following those fingertips if that feels comfortable. Staying within that safe and comfortable range of motion for your shoulders. So adjust it as you need to. Remember to keep breathing. See if you can keep relaxing. See if you can let go of tension as we do these movements. Let those hand-eye coordination really tune into what's going on. If you feel like you would like to, you can look over the tops of the fingertips. So you extend your gaze across the tips of the fingers, looking further out into the distance. So we can change how our gaze So all these are really important for our balance, to be able to look and turn. They're all tricky balance challenges. When you're ready, come back to the center, and you might want to again have a little shake out if we've built up a bit of tension by focusing, by concentrating, and just, if we can, let go a little bit. This time we're going to take the feet slightly wider, and if that's comfortable, you're going to shift the weight from side to side. If we're seated, we have to play with that feeling of just pushing through one foot at a time, just to get the idea of what it feels like to push through the leg and move ourselves. So we can just really, again, make good contact with the floor, really feel what's going on with the feet. So good for our balance to have flexible ankles, to have good awareness through the heel of the foot, through the toes. Get those ankles flexing and working. And when you're ready, come back to center, have a little shake out. So we're going to do tigers first, and we're going to, I know a lot of you have been enjoying our animal movements, so this can feel like a nice stretch, but it also could feel like a squeeze. I want you to play with the idea of, can we brace our muscles and squeeze through the torso, as well as just stretching. So see if we can play with these movements. Those of you who've been doing a little more will know to delve into these movements. So first of all, as we take things around, we kind of grab with claws and we pull up, and we might want to think of bracing or squeezing and pushing against the floor. See if you can push down, even if you sat down, and then press up. And then we're going to grab the sky and we're going to pull it down. So this is a bit like doing a pull up. So we're pulling. Now we turn the palms and press down. And if you wish to, if you're standing and you want to use those legs a little bit more, you can see that I've softened through the knees. Now I'm grabbing the floor, or imagining that I'm grabbing a carpet. And then I push up towards the ceiling. Then I grab the sky and I pull down. So feel those muscles through your shoulders, through the back working. Feel the torso pulling everything together. Feel the feet making good contact with the floor. And we're going to do that again. So last time, pull up. Imagining that you've got to pull up, so you press down through the feet. Now we push them, so we've got to still press, 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 press through the whole body. Grab the sky, pull it down, pull, pull, pull. And now press down, pressing. So, and just leave the hands down there. Have a little shake out. So I hope you enjoy that one. That's called Tiger, and it's from a set of movements called 5 Animal Qigong. We really do enjoy those movements. So the next thing we're going to do is a little bit mundane. It's called the shopping bag challenge, but it's so important. It's important for our Tai Chi. It's important for our leg strength. So if we're seated, we just want to think about staying long through the back. And if we're standing, we want to think about being long through the back and pressing through the floor. So as you all know, this involves pushing the hips backwards and looking forwards. And we take our hands to reach for some shopping bags, and then we press the floor away and we stand up. It's as if we're keeping an eye out for the bus while we're at the bus stop. Let's go again. Look ahead for that bus. Don't let your spine roll. Keep it nice and tall. We're going to grow a little bit each time. Tall through the spine. Look forward. Press that floor away with the feet. Press, press, press. Standing nice and tall, grow. And again, reach down for your shopping bags. You may be able to reach a little bit further each time, but we're thinking about strengthening the legs, not reaching to the floor. Press that floor away. Press, press, press. So stop when you've done enough, but if you'd like to, let's do a couple more. Press that floor away. And last one. Well done. Pressing that floor. Good job. Have a little shake out. So we do hope you're including these throughout the week. Tai Chi is for every day, not just for Tuesday. So these will help. So important, leg strength. They really helps work these big muscle groups at the top of our legs, helps us to keep going. So next one we're going to do is we're going to shift the weight backwards and forwards. So I've done side to side. We're going to do forward and back. So you might want to put one foot in front of the other. I'm going to move back so you can see my front foot a little bit better. And we're just going to soften the knees, shift the weight backwards and forwards. So I've got my knees slightly in a slightly bent stance, and I'm pushing through the toe to heel. So see if you can feel your big toe working. Just think about that big toe being able to flex a little bit. How clever are the feet that they've got so many bones, so many muscles working all together. And then when you're ready, have a little shake out. So I've brought my feet back to kind of hip width apart, and I'm just going to do the other side. So 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. In Tai Chi, we call these movements pouring, where we're thinking about weight moving from one leg to the other. But I really want you to feel that big toe and the big toe edge of the foot working hard to keep you upright and balanced. Feel yourself flexing through the foot. It's nice and relaxed. It can mold to the floor. You're getting a good range of motion through the ankles. And then when you're ready, we're going to come back to standing again, have a little walk. And now we're going to march. The movement's called march while bouncing a ball. It's a bit like it's a Ron Seal movement. Sounds like what it is. So if you would like to join in, we're just going to be lifting opposite arm to foot. So think nice and controlled balance. Think about slow, controlled. How smooth can I make this movement? Lifting one palm just up to shoulder height and lifting the other opposite foot. And if you're feeling balanced and want to come off the floor, you decide when you feel balanced and how to do that movement. And you might want to just have a moment's balance. So if you're feeling comfortable, you're not wobbling too much, you may want to bring the foot off the floor and try a little balance. And these are great exercises to do to get yourself balanced, challenged every day. So you decide exactly how much you're going to challenge your balance. That's the great thing about exercising on your own. You can work that out. So I'm just going to speed that up. Toilet march. And then we're going to shake out. So next one we're going to do is, shall we have a little go at the deer movement, which we've been looking at. I know a lot of you have enjoyed these animal movements, and we've been looking at deer. And so deer we make with deer antlers, and we can really simply begin by bringing the hands up, and we just bring them across the body. So one across the body, one out to the side. So if I turn to the side, hopefully you can see. So we can start really simply just by warming up and just taking one hand across the body, and the other, you can see that the elbow is tucked in. So nice and simple movements. So, and we make those antler movements. So just a nice little bit of a coordination exercise. You can go nice and steady, just bringing the arms across. It challenges our balance a little bit if we're standing, just to take our arms out to the side. So feel that balance challenge as our weight changes. And just taking the arms out to the sides. And then we're going to do one last one. And come back and have a little shake out. So Phil's going to come in any minute. So just while waiting for Phil, just get wrists going, nice big pots of paint being stirred, changing direction, go alternate directions, maybe paint some figures of 8 to get those wrists going. Here comes Phil. Yeah.
Thank you, Hal. Hello, guys. So we've had a little switcheroo. If you've noticed, we're kind of back to our normal orientation, just to see which one you prefer. Do you prefer this version of us, or do you prefer it when we're kind of got the window behind us? Let us know again in the comments. So let me just check if there's any questions. Oh, Alan, you found our newsletter in the junk. You don't know how it got there. Unjunk us, please, Alan, and that way it won't go in there. Okay, so let's have a, we're going to do the first part of Bafa Wubu, the Bafa movements, 8 methods. Okay, so we'll do those, sat down or stood up, and then we'll explore those 5 movements, the Wubu. Wu means 5, Bu, B-U, could mean steps, or it could just simply mean direction. So let's do the first part. I'm going to turn my back so you guys can follow. I'll give you my right shoulder. Okay. Let's have a wide base of support. As we said, let's work on building a good base of strength. Starts with the legs. Foundational stuff in Tai Chi. If we don't work from the legs up, we end up, as the Chinese saying, just having flowery hands. We don't want flowery hands. We want good, purposeful movement. So a good base. If you sat down, see if you can widen that base with your legs as well. Okay, with me on 3, we're going to go through part 1. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Qi. Press down and sink into that stance of yours. Hold the ball on the right side and then ward off. Roll back. Press. Push down. Push forward. We're going to take a grip and bring it down to the right hip. Bring the hands up to the side and sweep them forward. And then let me turn to the camera. Here's my left elbow driving forward. Make sure the knees stay out if we're stood up. Don't let them fall in like that. Unroll and down to that right side with the shoulder. Think of bracing with the shoulder. Pick up the ball, carry it to the left. And then I'm going to turn, give you my left shoulder. Same thing now. Ward off. Roll back. Press. Push down. Push forward. Grip. Pull down to the left. Pick up the hands. Sweep. And let me come and turn, because we're going to do our little finish after the elbow of the right side, shoulder barge to the left, and then step in, right hand on top, turn the hands in and up to finish, just like that. Bafa. So those are the 8 methods, as they're called. Before Tai Chi was a thing, i.e. before Tai Chi even was invented, and that's at least after the 1850s, if not the 1920s, these 8 movements or Bafa movements were all prevalent within all the kind of unarmed fighting arts of China. So they're not unique to Tai Chi, nor are the 5 steps. And how people would have practiced would have been very much in an extempore style. So basically, once you are familiar with these basic movements, elbows, pushes, pulling backs, you get the chance to extemporize on them. So hence we can begin to play. So they talk about those 8 movements and 5 steps as representing 13 postures. But like chess, really, you've got a limited board set and a number of squares within which pieces can move, but the permutations of those movements is really quite large, and that's what we can do in Tai Chi. So we're going to play with our 5 movements. Just for feet, we're going to take the hands out like we discussed last week, and we're just going to have a little play with our foot movements. Be mindful though, again, you need to be relatively good with your balance, even for some of these relatively simple movements. We're going to start with a hip width stance, but unlock your knees, okay? Right leg, give it a tap, just so you know that it's the right leg. I'm not going to mirror, and I want you to just take the heel forward and touch the heel down. Keep your toes up though. And then take that right foot back to the hip width stance. Left leg, same thing. Touch the heel, toes up, back to that hip width stance, okay? If I turn to the side, you can now see the next one. I've still got the hip width stance. I'm going to take that right leg and I'm simply going to touch the ball of the foot down. My heel is lifted backwards. Pick up. Same with my left leg, you'll see it go back. And it's the ball of the foot, not the toes or the tips of the toes, the whole of the ball of the foot is in contact. And come back to the center. Let me turn to the front. Really important ones here. We're going to do a little side step, but we're going to keep our weight on the left leg. So tap that left leg. Bring your weight across and then touch the ball of the foot of the right foot down. Keep the heel lifted. You won't be able to see that very well on this camera. Come back in. Same, weight shift onto the right side, knees unlocked, and ball of the foot down to your left. If I turn to the camera, you'll see, ooh, there we go. My heel's lifted, but the ball of the foot is down. And come back in. 5 directions. So we've got forwards with a heel, out to the side, and to the back. Always coming back to the center. And coming back to the center is the 5th direction. We're always coming back to a central place. Okay, so let's go right leg again, but slightly different. We're going to touch the heel, keep the weight on the left leg, let the foot go flat, and then we'll push into bow stance. Both feet are flat down. Weight now more on this front leg, but we've still got a good foundation in the rear leg. Okay? Don't mind me, I'm just turning so we get different angles. Push off that right leg, and we return to our hip width stance. Okay, left leg. So, heel, foot flat, then the weight shift. Make sure we do that in that order. Weight more 60% if you're that kind of person who works in percentages. 60% on that front leg. Everything else from the back. Come back. Okay, let me turn. We'll do the same going backwards. So right leg, weight onto the left, ball of the foot, heel goes down. Then we push off, and I bring my weight now to bear on this right leg. Both feet are flat down. In fact, this front knee is slightly unlocked. It's not fully extended. Let's come back. Hopefully you might be able to see when I go through the other side. Make sure my feet are in. So I'm going to send my left leg back, ball of the foot. Notice that my weight is still forward. Then the heel goes down, still weight forward. Then the weight goes back. Ignore the tendency of my prosthetic foot to lift its toes. Keep your feet down, but this knee is slightly flexed. But most of my weight is on the back leg. You should feel it in your muscles. And back. Okay. And now to the side. We've done these before in class and workshops, haven't we? But it's these foundations upon which Tai Chi is built. There wasn't a single class ever in my years of training where we didn't go through this process. Every single class, without fail. As I said, the analogy would be a ballet class. We start with bar work, doing basic movements to strengthen the legs, keep the legs flexible, build strength, and warm up. So let's do the same here. So weight onto the left. Extend that right foot, heel goes down. Notice that my weight is still on the left leg. If it's already drifted to the right, bring it back. Again, we want to be in control of our weight, not our weight in control of us. Really key balance principle. I've still kept you on the left leg. You should still be on the left leg. Now, bring your weight across onto the right leg. Foot flat on the ground, knee quite deeply flexed on this right side, gently unlocked on the left side. Push back and then bring your foot in. Get the idea. Fundamental to Tai Chi. If these aren't getting taught, find another teacher. Sorry, but that's it. These are basics that you must have in a class. And I'm hoping that you appreciate that we do teach them for you guys. I know it can seem onerous and boring, but it's fundamental to what we do. Weight on the right side. Extend the left foot, ball of the foot, heel. Notice that my weight now is still on the right leg. Still there. I can sit here because I've done the work. I've got a strong enough leg to enable me to sit on that leg and now drive me across. And this is my prosthetic leg, which doesn't like weight bearing, but just because it doesn't like it doesn't mean I don't do it, okay? There's the slightly flexed right knee, much more deeper flexed left knee, sitting on the left, and now we come back and in. Have a little movement break. So those are our 5 directions: forwards, backwards, to the sides, but always returning back to the center. And from there, we can play with our Bafa Wubu movements. We can do any of those 8 movements in any of those directions. They don't have to be performed in a strict step sequence. They're just, those step sequences are simply for the benefits of making life easier for the teacher to teach them, but ultimately your skill is about extemporizing on those movements. Let's have a play, shall we? So let's have a slightly wider stance. I'm going to face the camera and we're going to settle into the stance. If you sat down, again, just widen the stance, sit nice and tall through the seat, and then chi shi. Just like that. Okay, so let's have a little play, shall we? We're going to drift to the left. I'm not mirroring, so drift to your left. Keep your hands where they are. Turn the hips slightly to the right. We're going to step up. There's hold the ball. So I've stepped to the side. So I've done a sideways step, but I've closed the stance, open the stance, left leg pointing forward, and there's ward off. And then I can roll back. I don't have to, but that's the general convention. And then press, pushing forward, pushing down, pushing forward again. And then we can step up, just like that. Simple principles, but what can we say? Profound implications and impacts. Let's do the opposite side, shall we? Okay, so slightly wider stance, settle down, take a breath, and qigong. Give yourself time to think and feel. So I'm going to turn to my left. Again, I'm not mirroring, and I open my left foot out. Okay, hands are still down, and then I'm going to step up. So remember, I've stepped to the side. There's that side step, but it's just closed the stance. That's all that's changed. There's the left hand on top. I'm going to step forward with the right leg and ward off. Roll back, just like we did. Press, push down. And again, it should feel like you're pushing down. And then push forward. You should brace off this back leg. Push. And then step up. So those 4 movements, those of you who join us for Tai Chi Foundations or have been with us on this live stream for a long time will know that they go together into one sequence called grasp the bird's tail. That grasp the bird's tail sequence, as I said, is prevalent within all the Chinese unarmed martial arts, not unique to what later becomes called Tai Chi, because it's a fundamental movement in terms of our practice. But it's jolly good, isn't it? Let's turn and I'll give you my right shoulder and we'll do the same thing because it works our legs. It gives us a good foundation. Let's settle into the stance. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, qigong. Again, turning hips, shoulders. If I was on a clock face, I'd be pointing to 1 o'clock-ish, maybe between 1 and 2. I've turned the toes out. I step up, close the stance, catch the ball, open my stance, and then I'm into ward off. Roll back, and I'm shifting weight to and fro. So there's the weight shift, which exercises our legs and balance. If we don't do that, we're not getting the benefits, guys. Okay, let's do the opposite side. Here we go. Stance. I'm going to start off with just keep the hands there. Turn out, hips, shoulders, left foot. Now we're kind of facing between 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock on that face. Close stance, catch the ball. Notice that I'm sitting in that stance, like so. Then I open the stance with the right leg, and once again, we're into ward off. Push back, roll back, push forward and back. Part the hands, push down, and push forwards. And then step up to get the idea, guys. Let me see if there's any questions that have come in. Oh, Maggie. Love these weight transfers. really, as you will appreciate, Maggie, really important for you in your ongoing journey of rehab and recovery to get these weight transfers down, but equally important for us as we get older, because it's this ability to shift our weight under control, which sadly is one of the things that we begin to lose the ability to do as we get older. And that's due to a range of compounding physiological issues. The most important one, barring any grievous accident, injury, or illness impacting on these, is muscular strength and mass in the legs. If we just simply start to lose strength in the legs, we can't manage these movements. Not forgetting that muscles are stimulated by nerve impulses from the brain. And again, barring any kind of brain injury or nerve injury, if we begin to lose muscle mass and strength in the legs, then the brain begins to start to go, you don't need your legs. So I'll stop sending the same amount of information, stimulus, down to the legs. This is very broad terms, guys. And therefore it begins to reduce the number of motor units which connect to the muscle cells that fire or stimulate the muscle cell to contract, which is what strength is, muscle contractions. There you go, Physiology 101. But that's it, guys. It's really quite simple. A senior consultant gerontologist said to me, it's a move it or lose it syndrome. Hence why we're encouraging you to keep moving every day. Break up sitting into half-hour periods and just get up and do something. Even that is better than nothing. And even better than just getting up and moving is doing some shopping bag challenges, or some sit to stands, or some overhead reaches, or if that gets onerous, practice some Tai Chi, because that's the beauty of Tai Chi, is that it gives us something interesting to practice. It's an interesting, well, I hope so, movement skill that challenges us, gives us lifelong learning, and gives us the opportunity to maintain that all-important strength in the legs and the skill, if we think of balance as a skill, the skill of being able to balance. And that means that we can get in and outdoors when we wish, and we can feel comfortable doing so. So there's a mental health or mental well-being component to this as well. We're currently reading around this idea of physical deterioration of balance and how that impacts on depression and anxiety. Again, it's interesting stuff how the two correlate. Shall we have a go again before we finish? And let's just go through that simple grasp the bird's tail sequence. And I'll turn my back again. I'll just give you the right shoulder. Okay. Hopefully you can just settle a bit deeper. Don't be afraid of sitting down into that stance. You'll feel the muscles engage, and that's exactly what we want. Take a breath though. We want to stay relaxed and smooth, even controlled movement. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Chisha. Turning out the right toes as we turn the hips and shoulders. Step up under control, catch your balance, open the stance, and there's ward off. Weight on the left leg, push off the left leg. There's roll back, push off the right leg. Press, push off the left leg. Push off the right leg. And then let's just step up and finish. Just like that. And then I'm going to give you my left shoulder, and we'll do the same thing. Widen the stance, sit in the stance, take a breath, gather your thoughts. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. down, sit into that stance. Turn slightly, heel, toe with that left foot, hips and shoulders, left hand on top, catch your weight, open the stance and then ward off. Roll back, press. Notice the to and fro of the legs. Push and step up. In very kind of traditional, I'm not sure what that word traditional really means, but if I think of Tai Chi teachers who really know their stuff, grasp a bird's tail, perhaps along with wave hands in clouds, are the two fundamental movements that you would just repeat ad infinitum, okay? Because they're considered mother movements, i.e. there's pretty much everything that we need to learn and study within those two sequences. Wave hands, as we know, really works on our sideways leg strength and balance, while coordinating hands, arms, and challenging our vestibular system. Grasp the bird's tail gets us used to this weight transfer and again, this coordination of hand and arm movements with that weight shift. There you go. There's the rationale for our Tai Chi Foundations program based on some just good old exercise physiology. I hope that's interesting. I hope we've given you food for thought, and I hope we've stimulated you as well to think about moving every day purposefully, recognizing that you've maybe been sat down for half an hour or so and just going, no, I need to get back up. I need to have 5 minutes moving around. Even that has been demonstrated to make a huge improvement to our ability to maintain leg strength and balance. So you owe it to yourselves, guys, to keep going, because it's the one thing that keeps us independent is our ability to be able to move about on our two legs. And having come from a wheelchair many years ago, for a long time being in a wheelchair, I've been lucky enough to be able to get back on 2 feet, albeit with a prosthetic, and work hard enough to be able to move freely-ish on a prosthetic leg. I consider myself incredibly lucky in that respect. So have a go, guys. Think about, we've got the potential to have a much more open world coming up over the next few months. New classes, we've got new workshops planned, and we'd love to see you there. And we'll play with some of these ideas. I'm going to head back down, see if there's any final comments or questions. Happy to answer them for you. So, good point, Judy. Yeah, much needed due to your spinal stenosis. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. And again, so good this morning. I think I prefer the other angle with the window behind. Okay, that's cool. We want comments and things like that. So thanks for that, Judy. And we've got Maggie saying thank you. Another fab session. Jill, thank you. No questions, I take it. So we'll see you next Tuesday, if not before, in one of our Zoom classes. Don't forget, we've got Tai Chi Foundations tomorrow on Wednesday. Oh, Judy's got a nosy question. On the wall next to patio doors near top is a small round black. Is it doorbell or alarm? No, it's, you know, the little glass Greek eyes. In fact, let me get it. There you go. I think that's what you're talking about. There you go, Judy. It's one of those. You go on holiday in Greece and you buy some tut And that's some tuck we brought back from Corfu. They get put up, don't they, in Greece, in particular, to ward off the evil eye and things like that. But so we brought one back as well. So I hope that answered your question. Okay, Dorothy. Oh, Jill says, I've got one of those. Hold on, we're going to end up in a conversation of tut that we brought back on holiday. And I've got to go off for my lunch. So don't forget, if you would like to buy us a copy, you can do, because we do put a bit of work into these. So head over to coffee.com, discover Tai Chi, and you can buy us a coffee if you like what we do. That would be lovely. And don't forget our new website as well, discovertaichi.uk, where we've got memberships, where we're putting lots of infographics and video on there, all the extra good stuff that we simply can't just put into a class. We're putting into our memberships. So I know quite a few of you have already joined, so check those out. One more comment before we go. That's it, says Judy. Got my attention. No worries, Judy. That's what we're here for. So I'm going to end the broadcast, guys. It's been lovely. Those of you who are going to watch again, hi to you. And don't forget, you can get in touch with questions and comments too. So I'm going to say goodbye from me and Helen, and we'll see you next week. Take care, guys.